You are listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast.
What is going down? What the fuck is going down? It is your boy Studio McGyver, and you are listening to Studio McGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. Welcome to the show, guys. If you're into anime, if you're into video games, nerd culture, then you've come to the right place. We talk about all of that shit here, and I want to welcome everybody to the show. Today we're going to be talking about a few things. We're going to be talking about some CD Projekt Red. Yes, they are in the building. We're also going to discuss Sony doing some things, some great things, if you ask me. Something I've been wanting to see, something that a lot of you guys might be interested in. We're also going to talk a little bit about Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba. I have a little bit of news there. It's in the future, but it's good news nevertheless. Also, a release date of a game that I have been anticipating. I've talked about it a few times on this show, and a lot of guys who are PlayStation people will be looking forward to this game. Going to be talking about that. Also, Naughty Dog. Yes, there is some Naughty Dog news, guys, and I hate to say it, but it's not good news at all. So I'm going to be addressing that. And then what I've been doing this past week, guys. I mean, fuck. I have still been playing Division 2, and I am still completely in its spell. It's got me in a fucking headlock. The game should be called Macho Man Randy Savage or some kind of wrestler, because it's got me in a fucking headlock, guys, and I cannot get out of it. I've been linking up with friends. We've been, having a ball playing this shit. I've met a lot of new people playing this game recently, and we've been enjoying ourselves, man. And I'm going to talk more about that and what I plan on doing moving forward with this game. A lot of content on the way surrounding this game, just because I've got so much of it. But I'm going to break that down a little bit for you guys if you are not aware. And, a little bit of some news. There's been a couple game releases, a couple decent game releases, games I've been checking for. But, you can't buy everything you want necessarily up front in day one. So these are games I will be adding to the library, but it's not going to be right now. I'm going to talk about those games. So let's get started with the fucking show. First thing I want to start off by talking about is, I guess I'll tackle the first said subject on this list, and that's going to be CD Projekt Red. Yes, CD Projekt Red has some fucking news out here. Well, I call it news because, anything with these guys on it, man, is news to me, because I cannot fucking wait to play 2077, and that is Cyberpunk 2077. But what I'm here to tell you guys now is that these guys are giving reviewers weeks ahead of time to play this game. They're that fucking confident in this game that they are going to do that. So whenever you have a company who does that and they don't wait for that embargo, you're probably going to get that embargo lifted on this game fairly soon. And if you guys listening don't know what that is, it's basically a permission for, the press to put out reviews early. A lot of people don't like to do that because they feel that, that's how you can tell if a company has confidence. Because if they do, they'll say, well, fuck it. Yeah, you can put it out a week ahead. We're completely happy with this game. We believe that it is that good, and we're going to let you review it early because we believe it's going to get great reviews and people are going to buy it and want to buy it. And, when you're nervous and you're a company, you don't want that necessarily to happen. You're not sure, or if you're unsure of yourself, you're not knowing, you don't want to do that because you're afraid that the reviewers or the press get a hold of the game and they fucking, it's trash. They, maybe they don't like it for whatever reason, and they put that out there, and then that's going to deter a lot of buyers, because a lot of us, let's keep it real, we look for those reviews. We want to know, is this shit worth buying? Is it, do I want to spend my $65 on this fucking title? You know what I mean? And it has a lot to do with a lot of things. I usually go for 3 or 4 reviews, and if the majority of those are A1, then I typically, make that decision to go push forward with that product. You know what I mean? And there's some games that, let's be real with each other, if you love the game, you just love the game. Nothing is going to deter you from buying it. You know what I mean? If you've just been anticipating a title and you're like, yo, fuck it, I'm going to play it regardless. That's just what it is. That's the reality of it all. And that's cool too. But reviews definitely help us a lot of the time make decisions that, would help our pocketbooks or would not help our pocketbooks. So it's good to hear that CD Projekt Red is going to be doing this, because I already knew it personally, but just to get that gratification that these guys are dropping straight fire, that's all I need to hear. Okay, so let's move on to the next fucking subject, and that is going to be Sony. Yes, Sony and Kojima, believe it or not. Now, if you guys remember, I can't remember how many years ago this was. It wasn't that long ago, man, but it was, maybe a handful of years, maybe 4, maybe, 3 or 4 years ago. There was a game that went by the name of Silent Hills. Okay, I think there was like a demo that came out, and basically anybody who owned that demo, there was something that happened where they basically wiped it off of the App Store, where you couldn't get it anymore. Even if you had the game already, the demo already, then you could have it. It was yours. But if you didn't have it downloaded, they wiped it off the servers where you couldn't even come back and get it. It was some legal dispute that was going on between Kojima and Sony, basically. And that's why the game never got finished. And a lot of people were wanting to see this game come to fruition. It never happened. And that's what happens when you deal with politics. When you get into politics of anything, games are not excluded from that. People suffer, deals get dropped, games that, would have been out never will come out. And that's what happens a lot of the time. There's hundreds of games, guys, that we will never fucking see. And there's a lot of games we probably played or own right now that almost never fucking happened. And that's because of a dispute, something legally. And usually when you follow that paper trail, it ends up something to do with money. It's always about money. So it is what it is. It's the dirty truth behind everything we do for the most part out here, whether it's video games or anime or whatever. It has a lot to do with that, guys. But apparently Sony basically got with Kojima, and they're going to settle whatever issue that they fucking had. And they plan on making this fucking game, guys, Silent Hills. They plan on starting that engine and getting ready to put it out on the PlayStation 5. Now that's the news I have, and that's all the news I have is, everybody's talking about it in these video game streets, all the people, behind the scenes or whatnot. And that's good news. That's good fucking news. And of course, it's going to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive, most likely, if anything, timed exclusive. But that's why I fuck with Sony. Sony always has those, awesome relationships, man. And I just love a lot of things that those guys do. And I'm looking forward to seeing what this game is going to look like on the PlayStation 5. Really, really looking forward to that. So thought you guys might want to hear about it. All right. Next on the list, guys, is one of my favorite anime of fucking 2020. And, it came out late 2019, and bled into 2020. And that was Kimetsu no Yaiba. A lot of us know it as Demon Slayer. I love that fucking anime, guys. But a little bit of gaming news. It was only a matter of fucking time. And I knew it was going to happen. Whenever you have a popular IP, eventually it's, going to turn into merch. And then from the merch, it's going to turn into games. And I guess games and merch are kind of under the same umbrella. So you can say that. But yeah, we're finally going to get a Kimetsu no Yaiba video game, a Demon Slayer game. It's a long ways out, but we're still getting one. It's in development as we speak. And I cannot wait to see what this game's going to be. Is it going to be an arena fighter? Is it going to be a fighter like Dragon Ball Fighters? Who knows what kind of games it's going to be, but I cannot fucking wait. I will be picking it up. I'm a sucker for certain franchises, Naruto, Dragon Ball. I always buy those games, man. And I think I'm going to do the same. No, fuck that. I know I'm going to do the same for this Demon Slayer game coming out in 2021. So yeah, like I said, no time soon. Probably, hopefully, early 2021 is when we'll get it. And I cannot wait to see what this game is about. I mean, there's a screenshot available right now. There may be even more as of this podcast, but it's one, on my Instagram. You guys can check it out at StudioMguyvR79 if you feel you need to. But yeah, man, it's going to be off the chain. And I love anime games, man. I'm a sucker for anime games. I have a lot of them, a lot of those games. And I'll be talking about another one of these games that just released a little bit later. Anyway, I was just excited to hear that news, and I knew it was coming. I just didn't know how or when. Also, on a side tangent, it's going to be coming out for the PlayStation 4. So they got their guns set and pointed on the PlayStation 4. I don't know if it's going to go to PlayStation 5 or not. That info has not been revealed, but for sure, they are definitely coming and making it for the PlayStation 4. So if I hear any other news about this, guys, I will definitely let you guys know, and we'll get into it. Okay, here's the next topic of discussion. And this one is a release date that, man, I just found out about. I can't believe I didn't know this sooner. But hey, better late than never, guys. This fucking game that I love so much, a game that I was really, really anticipating for a while now, has finally got a release date, guys. And I'm talking about Ghost of Tsushima. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm bad with these names sometimes, guys. But yes, this game has a fucking release date, and that release date is going to be June 26th. I mean, way sooner than I might expect it, because they weren't saying anything about this game for a while. We got some fucking cool ass previews and all of that, but that was about fucking it. And then when it came to release date, I guess they let us have it when they felt the time was right. And now it is June. I mean, and it's crazy because June, we got this coming out. And then May, we fucking have another game coming out. And that game is The Last of Us 2. So it's a lot of shit going on, guys. A lot of shit. And I'm going to be definitely talking about The Last of Us 2, guys. But if you haven't seen the latest preview to this game, Ghost of Tsushima, you want to check that shit out, guys. It's a beautiful game. I mean, I can't wait to play this. I mean, these guys, I don't know how they did it, but they did it. And I cannot wait to sink my teeth into this game. One of my most anticipated games of this year. So definitely check out this game, guys. I hope you will. And I'm going to be talking about it when it releases, because I'm going to definitely be playing it. Moving on to The Last of Us. Okay. And I'm talking about Last of Us because not necessarily referring to the game itself, but the production of the game. Okay, that's the news that I want to talk about. This fucking game, guys, apparently they're not excluded for, running a fucking sweatshop, running a sweat box of a shop at their place of business. Apparently, they're suffering from the same things that a lot of these game developers suffer from, which is the crunch time blues. And I say that because of this. Crunch time is basically referring to working overtime or working your fucking fingers to the bone. Sometimes even working so fucking long and so fucking hard, you end up in a motherfucking emergency room. Okay. And apparently one of these guys, Jonathan Cooper, who was an ex-employee of these guys, of The Last of Us, or Naughty Dog, as I should say, has been talking about what's been going on through his experience and experience of friends of his who's worked there. Apparently one of his friends ended up working so fucking long and hard that he had to fucking hospitalize himself with fatigue. And that's fucking crazy. And he's an animator. Okay, so when it comes to animation, you don't have to tell me shit, guys. I've talked about this before. Animators are some of the hardest working people in the gaming industry that I can think of. And not just the gaming industry, the animation industry, one of my favorite industries as well. They work those guys to the fucking bone, man. These guys work 10-hour days, 6 out of 7 days. And that's a standard, for the most part. Some of these guys are working 7 days a fucking week, 12-hour days, man. It's a long process. Animation is not easy. You know what I mean? You have to really, really love that shit to do it. And apparently a lot of these guys are being pushed to their limits. And this is going on at fucking Naughty Dog. And there's been a lot of history with Naughty Dog that I didn't know about that was going on behind closed doors. with companies hiring these guys, and they're coming in and they just get worked to the bone, and they're expected to work to the bone, and they can't handle it. They fizzle out, and they fucking have a high turnover rate because of that. And that is what, they're dealing with right now. And this is going on in a lot of fucking game companies. This is going on in a lot of animation studios where they hire these guys and they promise them the world. And then when crunch time comes around and that date is set, by any means necessary, it has to be done. They want it done. And I blame that personally, guys, more on the fucking publisher than the fucking companies itself, because these are the guys drawing that line in the sand saying, look, we need this released by this date or else, there's going to be repercussions. Every day we don't put it out on this day, we're losing money. And like I said, it boils down to money at the end of the day. And sometimes, guys, people are more important than money. All right. Doing the right thing is more important than money. Protecting your investment, protecting your employees is worth more than that, because if you burn your employees out, they're not going to be any good, and they're going to be jaded, and then they're not going to fucking, as you can see, they're leaving the company and they're going for greener pastures. And then you become synonymous with bullshit. You become synonymous with, malpractice and all of those things related to nothing but shit. And you don't want that if you're a company who gives a fuck, and when you make great games, when you're, somebody like Naughty Dog, who is known out here in these video game streets, I mean, that's not what I want associated with my fucking name. So they better clean that shit up, man, because nobody is better than the game. Okay. And I'm just keeping it real. I'm keeping 110 fucking percent. And apparently, man, it's crazy out there in those digital streets. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Anyway, forgive the noise in the background, guys. There's a lot of shit going on. I'm recording this podcast, actually, to be honest. I'm recording this shit at like 4 a.m. and it's raining really bad. There's vehicles sometimes that's driving by. I don't understand why, but they are. So just forgive that. And I do apologize in advance. Anyway, moving on to the next motherfucking subject. Let's talk about some games that just came out. Let's talk about that. There's a couple of them, actually. One of them is Nioh 2. Yes, Nioh 2 is out now, guys, and apparently it's getting pretty dope reviews, averaging about 8.5 to 9 out of 10, and that's really fucking good. That's really fucking good. And most of the reviewers haven't had a chance to review the whole game because, like I said, it's fresh out the box. So I was looking at partial reviews and things of that nature, but from what I've seen right now, it looks so promising. It's just that, I don't have all the money to get all this shit, man. You know what I mean? I just don't. So I will have to wait for some price drops and make that happen then. But hey, looking forward to playing it when I do get a chance to play it. And apparently, you can play online with friends, and that's also awesome. That's really what I want to play it for. I want to get some people together and really, really step into this game. Honestly, I do. So if anybody else is out there planning on playing this game, hey, hit me, inbox me, let me know how awesome or not awesome the game is. I'd like to pick your brain about the game, and I'd like to hear from you. So yeah, definitely do that and make that a reality for your boy. Another game that is just released, guys, is My Heroes 1's Justice 2. Yes, I'm a big My Hero Academia fan. I have the first game they came out with, loved it, absolutely loved it. And the second one supposedly is better than the first. More characters, more modes, just a better game in general. You know what I mean? More moves, all of those things. I haven't had a chance to sink my teeth into, what it's all about. But from what I've seen, it's got great reviews right now as well. We're also looking at about 4 out of 5. It's like 9 out of 10. You know what I mean? And that's dope. That's awesome. And I want to see more about this game because I definitely will be picking this up eventually. I can't say when, but I definitely will be picking this up and adding it to the collection. Love My Hero Academia, guys. I saw the movie last week. You guys, if you listen to the podcast, I talked about it, did a review on it, and I loved it. So the game, I'm looking forward to playing it. These games typically, drop their prices pretty soon. So I'd say within the next few months, guys, you can probably pick this up for about $30. and that's probably when I'll make that move. And eventually it'll probably go down to as low as 20. And if you can catch a deal like on Sony or something like that, you might even get it cheaper than that. So this would be a game I will be adding to my anime video game collection, and I will probably be doing content on it and all of that when I do get it. I don't necessarily care about the time. I don't have to have it the week it's out and all of that. I just get games when I get the money, and I enjoy myself with them. And, if I play it enough, I decide to put out content for them. And I've been doing that. I got a lot of content for one game that I'm going to be talking about now, and it's called The Division 2. So many different videos to go through, comb through on my PlayStation 4 right now. I think like 30 gigs of fucking video right now to run through. And speaking of The Division 2, guys, I'm absolutely loving my time with it. I can't put it down. My girlfriend, as everybody has been looking at me like I'm purple, because they cannot believe I'm a fucking alien in here in this fucking man cave, because that's all I've been doing, playing this fucking game, sleeping and playing this game. That's it. Barely eating and playing this game. It's crazy. And I think part of the appeal is the fact that, a lot of my friends are playing this game. And I've made a lot of friends already, new friends playing this fucking game, and even old friends, people that were my friends who I hadn't heard from in over a couple years. You know what I mean? That we played other games with, and then they're back and we're in squads together. You know what I mean? There's this guy named Ace that, I fucked with way back when Bloodborne came out, man. This guy was like a Bloodborne whisperer. He was a Bloodborne savant, man. And I remember, playing that with him holding my hand like a small child and walking me through the wilderness in that game. He knew exactly where everything was. He just doing his thing, man, and got me through that game. And then to see him, not to see him for a couple years, and now to run back into him with this game, Division. I just literally ran a mission with him hours ago and had a fucking blast doing it. So yeah, man, I mean, it's games like this that bring people together. They got to be really good for me to get into those. And I'm talking about online game only games like that. And this is one of those titles, man. I definitely have a lot of content coming out. If you are subscribed to Studio MacGyver TV, if not, you listen to the podcast, why not subscribe to the fucking YouTube channel, man? Content almost every day. Right now, there's a lot of bullshit on there, but I got some decent shit coming, and you guys should definitely check it out. I talk about all kind of shit. Same shit I'm talking about here in smaller, bite-sized pieces. I'll talk about anime culture, what's going on out there, video games, and my thoughts on those, my anticipation of games, and all of these things, man. Just it's all here on the channel, and you should definitely check it out and show me some love. I would definitely appreciate it. Anyway, back to this Division 2 shit, man. Yes, I've been playing a shitload of it. I'm loving every fucking second of it. All I can tell you guys is I don't know when I'll be able to stop and put it down for the foreseeable future, because I've been slacking on everything else. I really need to be practicing my Dragon Ball game, my Dragon Ball Fighters game, and I haven't been able to for the last few days. I've been getting, weaker and weaker in that. So I need to pick that up and at least give myself 15 to 20 minutes practice a day so I don't get rusty, because right now, guys, I'm getting rusty. But it's all good. I'll be back. I just have to shake this. It's like a drug. I got to fucking shake it, man. You know what I mean? I'm working on all these different builds. We've been going into the dark zone, putting in work. It's crazy. I even created my own personal build, and I call it the grilled cheese build. Yes, it's a video coming soon. I'll be working on it. Yes, I love this build, guys. I've run around with this fucking chem launcher, which, basically starts fire. It looks like a little fucking flare gun. You point it, you shoot it, and basically what you're shooting is a bunch of fucking gas, mist, or whatever fuck you want to call it, that kind of floats into the air. And then you can ignite it, and it will fucking just ignite into a flame. And if anybody's caught inside of that flame, they will fucking burn. But to make them burn and burn longer, you have to spec into it. So that's what I've been doing, picking up different pieces and with different attributes on them, and trying to make them all stack on each other so I can make a certain build. And like I said, Loving it, guys. I cannot fucking wait. I may post a picture on Instagram or something like that of the character, but yeah, it's definitely content coming for this build. I'm working on a tank build as well, a shotgun tank build. So if you guys are familiar with the Division game and how it works, you'll know what I'm talking about here. But if you're not, then I can also understand you not knowing what the fuck I'm talking about. But definitely look into it. Check out the Division, guys. I mean, I bought the game for $3. They had a sale because of the DLC that just came out recently. The DLC is $30. Man, I had to do it. You know what I mean? But $33 for the game. I mean, plenty of content, all kinds of things to do. Definitely worth your coin. And if you're looking for something new, something to play with some friends, you might want to check this game out. You definitely want to give it a gander. If you like looter shooters, then you will probably appreciate this game. Give it a chance. I did. I played the first one, like I said, and I love the game. And the second one, definitely improved on everything else that the first one had. So I am enjoying my time with the game. I don't know when I'll be able to put it down, but I thought I'd share that with you guys. Yeah, because that's probably what I'll be playing on a regular for the foreseeable future until we get to May. And that's when The Last of Us drops. And I think June is when Ghost of Tsushima drops. So those are really the only two games I plan on buying day one right now. And that's it. Maybe I might decide to pick up, what's the game? It's at the tip of my fucking tongue and I hate that. Biomutant. Yes, whenever that comes out. But that's it. And that's all. So with that being said, guys, I mean, that's going to do it for the show, man. I mean, I appreciate everybody coming out, listening, downloading the episode, guys. I have more for you next week. Who knows what will happen then? I mean, this coronavirus shit is crazy. It's got everybody on fucking quarantine, man. I mean, they told my girlfriend, look, take this fucking computer monitor home and test it out because it looks like, we might be teleworking from the house for the foreseeable future. And I'm hearing friends, and their loved ones, doing and going through some of the same things. My son, who is out for spring break now, for 1 week, they gave them an extra week. So instead of 1 week, it's 2 weeks now. So it's just like, it's so crazy, man. There was no fucking toilet tissue. It took us forever to find toilet paper, man. And we finally got some. And then guess what? Then after you find toilet paper, then there's no hamburger meat. I was going to make tacos. No, you're not making tacos. So it's a lot of shit going on. Yeah, perfect time for a homebody like myself, man, to take advantage of this time in the man cave and just, binge out on video games and binge out on anime. And that's what I'm going to do. That's what I've been doing. And yeah, so with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. If you guys want to show love and support, definitely, check out the YouTube channel. That's Studio MacGyver TV. Also check out Beautiful Nerds, www.beautifulnerds.com. You can check out them for all kinds of cool shit, man. Nerd culture shit, cups, hats, hoodies, beanies, all of those things. They add new shit every month. So definitely give them a shout. They'll definitely be helping me out as well. Also, if you want to be on the show, a guest, yes, or if you want me to talk about a certain subject, you can holler at your boy on social media. Okay, at Studio MacGyver on Twitter, at Studio MacGyver79 on Instagram, guys, and on Facebook at Studio MacGyver as well. Now, with all that shit out of the way, I want to thank all my long-time listeners. You guys know I love you to death. And if you're new to the show and you started listening not too long ago, thank you. And I hope that you continue to listen to this podcast, whether you're sleeping, whether you're jogging, whether you're driving to work in the morning, whatever it is. I want to say thank you for lending me your time, because you could be doing anything else, but you chose to listen to this podcast. So with that being said, I love each and every one of you guys. Thank you for listening. I can't thank you guys enough for the support, and it's going on 4 years now. I love it. I love you guys. This is Studio MacGyver, and you have been listening to Studio MacGyver's Dragon Ball and Video Game Podcast. See you next time.